welcome to Star Stop. Today, Looop Lapeta cast with me, the official remake of Run Lola Run, a film that was so famous back in the day, but something so interesting about it because the way it was shot in the Hollywood sense of the word was always something that people loved. Now, when you see this film, so many of those thoughts will come in. The last time I saw somebody try to attempt this kind of camera work was in Department with Ram Gopal Verma, and I got a bit of a headache. But with this film, it was fantastic. And I want to welcome my big star cast, Tahir Raj Bhasin, Taapsee Pannu, and of course the director Akash with me. You know, sometimes I get very lucky. Now, why? Because of COVID, what's actually happened is, पिछले 2 साल से हम लोग पिक्चर देख के फिर बातें कर पा रहे हैं. You know, so the beauty of it, you know, some artists request it. तो यहाँ B4U पर I'm super happy that we've got an opportunity now. एक गवास्कर साहब आज हमारे साथ है जो 6 पे 6 मार रहे हैं, हर जगह इनकी होर्डिंग लगी हुई है. एक लेडी है जो जब देखो जब से भागना शुरू किया है और जिम जाना शुरू किया है, बंद ही नहीं हुआ है. एंड एक जेंटलमैन जो डायरेक्टर साहब है जो आफ्टर डिपार्टमेंट एंड ग्राउंड हॉग डे इतना कैमरा को हिलते हुए हमने लाइफ में नहीं देखा है. आकाश सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस. ताहिर एंड तापसी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस.
Hi, Salil. Thank you for having us.
हाय हेलो तो मौका मिल गया ना मेरे पास. बट फर्स्ट आई हैव टू कम टू द कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप. फैंटास्टिक. हाउ डिड यू डू द एडिट? और या फिर कितनी प्रॉब्लम हुई एडिट में, आगे पीछे ऊपर नीचे? आई प्रॉमिस यू सर, जब मैं पिक्चर बीच में देख रहा था, आई एम अ फैन ऑफ ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स, वेदर इट्स रन लोला रन और व्हाटएवर, यू नो, वी हैव सीन. आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज वंडर कि हाउ द एडिट्स हैपन. मतलब इज इट समथिंग दैट समटाइम्स यू अगर बीच में एडिटर छोड़ के चले गया, यू हैव टू वेट बिकॉज यू नो द बैक एंड फोर्थ, देयर इज नो लिनियरिटी. इट्स ब्रिलियंटली डन, सो कंग्रेचुलेशंस ऑन दैट. बट डिड यू गो मैड इन द एडिट?
I mean, there's a lot of pre-edit that we've done on the film. We had planned a lot in advance as to how we have to shoot it because it's a very execution-heavy narrative piece, right? So there's no way to mess it up without shooting anything. So there was a lot of planning, storyboards, and so basically at the edit, then it was extracting the best performances more than figuring out the linearity or the non-linearity of the film, because that was pretty much what we did in the prep itself. The edit was mostly about letting the actors shine, getting them their best pieces out there. And yeah, my editor, Priyank Prem Kumar, he's excellent. He's been my partner friend for a very long time. And it was an absolute delight to have him on board. And just the surgical sort of edit that he's done on this, just the precise beat that the film has been given by him is excellent. Like all heart to him.
You know, the production design कई बार फिल्मों का बहुत कमाल का होता है. All of you all have been involved in big production designs, but just the smartness of the execution, the sound, you know, little bits and pieces when you're scribbling on paper, it was just such a treat. It was like watching a cartoon film. So I had so many films in my head. I had Sin City के types in my head. I had a cartoon film in my head. It was just so well done, so international. It felt so cool to watch this. And once again, the jealousy factor for Taapsee Pannu just increases every day. How does she sign these films? How does she always manage to do this? Taapsee, first of all, you have never stopped going to the gym for the last 3 years. How much you had to run? Well done in this. कितना भागे हो तुम पिक्चर में? I mean, I know of course the concept is that, but still, were you actually running that much or 10 times more?
Yeah, 10 times more is better actually. No, I ran the maximum I've run for any film before.
Yeah.
So this has been the max running. इतना कि इसके बाद मैंने बोला भैया अब नहीं और भागूंगी मैं. अब मैं किसी फिल्म में नहीं भागूंगी.
अब बस अपनी पाँव टिकाना चाहती है.
अब मैं अपने पाँव टिकाना चाहती हूँ लिटरली. अभी बहुत हो गया.
But it's such a crazy execution, you know. I mean, forget about the fact कि storyline क्या है, वो तो है ही कमाल की, you know. And by the time this interview comes out, the film will have released online, so people will watch it. It just excites you so much as an actor. जब आप ये देख रहे होते हो, पूरा storyboard, setup, सारी चीजें, it must be such an exciting space to say yes to.
When I heard the script ना, उस टाइम पे मेरे को ये पता था कि it is going to be, every film is a teamwork film, but यहाँ पे ना it's only about the team members more than, क्योंकि वो एक स्टोरी, एक 50 मिनट की स्टोरी है जो दोबारा होगी, ठीक है. इट्स ऑल अबाउट कि बाकी लोग कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले हैं अपने अपने पार्ट्स. रीड द अदर एक्टर्स, रीड द टेक्नीशियंस आल्सो with every successive loop, how they're going to do it differently. So it's not just going to be, it's Savi's POV in a lot of ways, but it's actually them who will make the world different in every successive loop. it's not her. For her, it's the same journey she is going through.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
them who are going to make it look different every time. So मेरे को ये पता था कि एक department has to be nothing short of best on this if this film has to work. And when I'd seen Akash's work, when they told me, okay, how is he? We're planning to reach out to him. The producers had shortlisted him and were like, okay, we want to reach out to him. And he's not done a feature film before, but he has done a lot of ads. So I saw a lot of his ads and I was like, this somehow feels like hand in glove situation because his ad work kind of complements the world that we are trying to create. So hence it was a no-brainer for me to be like, yeah, we must go to a person who is not, actually it's good for this kind of film to go to a person who has not done work before. Because you're not coming with a kind of a set image and template of the kind of films you do or you're good at or the kind of work you've done. So I think that really, really brought everything new and different to the table because the director of the ship was new.
He's hit a 12, yeah, brilliantly. I mean, I was so impressed. मतलब कई बार क्या होता है ना कि ये है आपकी पहली फीचर फिल्म, लेकिन पहले लेट्स टॉक अबाउट अ जेंटलमैन. लेफ्ट राइट देखो एक होर्डिंग, राइट साइड देखो दूसरी होर्डिंग, आगे देखो तीसरी होर्डिंग. Tahir Raj Bhasin, brother, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations on this purple patch. Sportsmen के purple patch होते हैं, लेकिन brilliantly, मतलब few men can pull off a nose bindu / ring like you did. Brilliantly done. So well done on this purple patch. How are you feeling, man? Every day there's a new release out.
I'm over the moon, like as in like it's the most exciting start to 2022 that I could have imagined. I've been shooting now pretty consistently for the past 2 years, but as we know, we've been living in the kind of times where every production has been facing its delays. And somehow I feel like the stars have aligned for this bumper opening to 2022. I also had the benefit of having a co-star like Taapsee on Loop and, would constantly take notes on how to handle multiple releases. So I have learned from the best. And it's like, I wake up with a sense of just joy and gratitude these days, purely because I know the kind of heart and soul that goes into making each one of these projects. And if there's one thing that the pandemic taught me as an actor, as an artist, is how important it is to get your work out there to the audience. Pre-pandemic, I used to feel like I was the kind of person where my work is on set, it starts on set between action and cut, it ends, and then I'm detached. But when you wait and you don't have an audience and that work doesn't get seen, you realize how important that aspect of the process is as well. And I'm so excited for the world to witness Loop very soon.
You know, and it's amazing that you all are picking up different work also, because I think as an actor, wo comfort zone kai baar easy ho jata hai, when you know that it's working for you and getting your work out there, which is why I think, Akash, a lot of feature film directors come from the ad world also. There's so much money that you all make over there also. And it's so simple because wo sare agencies ek bari aapke favorites ho jate hain. Sometimes I speak to so many directors who say they don't want to make the jump into feature films because they say, यार वो फिर वापस prove करना है, मैं 25 साल से direct कर रहा हूँ, 20 साल से direct कर रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे लोग आके judge करेंगे मुझे एक film पर. So for you also, it's a huge risk to do something like this. Yes, it's come out very well. I'm blown away by your entire escape and everything. But was it a risk for you?
No, not at all, man. I mean, I think the opportunity to make a film shouldn't be the only reason to make it, but this film is the sort of film that allowed me to really like use all my chops that I've learned over the years as being in advertising, whether it's treatment, whether it's using sound, music, whether it's working with different kind of players as actors and characters. So, I mean, I think it was all of that was priming me to work on a film, and I love doing advertising work as well. I mean, it's not even one or the other. So whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to give it my 250%, nothing less. And this feature film has been just a great first to sort of jump in that sense.
So you find Taapsee on the set, yeah, somebody who's been morning to night on the big screen. The most watched, by the way, congratulations, 2021's most watched film online. Every record is coming her way, but it's brilliant. How is she to be on the set? Is she can be a little bully sometimes, she can be a little bossy sometimes.
I mean, I don't know why anybody would say that, but because that's not true. I mean, she's a personality and she's an eccentric person herself. And I think that's what you expect when you're working with actors of all different kinds. And, like all the actors that have been worked on the film have brought their own eccentricities. And Taapsee's is Taapsee's. You have to sort of let her flourish. If you try and tame her down or do her, make her go in a different direction, then you're useless or she's useless, and neither of us felt that we were equal from the process. And in that, I mean, she's been a pillar for me, even on some of the bad days. She's been there, and she's come and held my hand literally and physically, told me, "Don't worry about anything. This is good. You keep doing you." And then that is an asset to have some for someone of her ilk and somebody who's been around for so long. It helps. It makes your first film not feel like a first.
We'll take a little break and come right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. So much more for Looop Lapeta coming up. Netflix is the place where so many films are being released. And today on B4U Star Stop, I've got the cast and the director of Looop Lapeta. One of the most quirky films I've seen online. Taapsee Pannu, Tahir Raj Bhasin, who's all over, fresh from his success of 83. And of course, the director, Akash. Thanks again for joining me, guys. You know, Tahir, you've... this is a little out of your comfort zone. I mean, may be wrong in saying this, but what we've seen you on screen has always been somebody, you know, either a strong villainy, strong presence kind of character, a strong character that you're playing. This was fantastically different. You know, so there's a sense also, can I pull this off? Will they be able to understand me in this? So did you go through that? Were you worried? Like, will I be convincing?
No, not worried at all. I was excited, and you're absolutely right. I've always played like these very strong alpha male characters, whether it was Derek in Chichore or Walton Mardani. But what was exciting here is how like diametrically opposite Satya is to all of these. He's unapologetically a goofball, and not a goofball because he's wanting to be one. That's just who he is, and that's what I loved about him: his authenticity, his vulnerability, the fact that he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I've actually never done romance as a genre before, and Satya leads with love. Like he starts off wanting to do something for love. It's just that it goes terribly, terribly wrong. And even in that wrongness, the only person he can think of is the woman that he loves the most. And I just found that conflict so engaging. The fact that this is a warped guy whose choices, morals, everything is warped. But somehow, even on paper, I just felt for him. And I wanted to want that journey to bring it on screen.
And it's come out wonderfully well. Taapsee, you know, you make everyone feel at ease on the set, you know, and that's what everybody always says. But, you know, when you're slipping in and out of characters, because you're doing so many films in a year, are you sometimes wondering, could I be repeating? I mean, A.R. Rahman, people you would say sometimes, sir, similar lag raha hai because so much was happening there, you know. I know that, you know, there are so many now actors that have lots of releases because you're online and on the big screen. So are you sometimes taking a little bit time off in between films to review and then, you know, वो एक तपस्या type हो जाती है ना acting की, let me try and see what I can add and subtract because you're doing so much work.
See, that I do plan, but what happened with the lockdown was everything, the dates got cramped up. And then I had no option than to meet those deadlines by quickly finishing as much as I can. But fearing that, I always try to pick a different genre and a different kind of director. Because I am a very director-driven actor. I'm not a trained actor. I don't watch monitors as well. So for me, I need someone who can direct me, who I can totally submit to and trust that, okay, you will figure out how this character is only this character and not similar to anything else you've done or I have done before. So I kind of submit that way. And that's the only way. I don't even know any other way. So suddenly, just because I have to be different, I can't suddenly start talking in a different tone, or suddenly I can't just put up an accent only because I have to sound different from the previous film. No, that's not how it is done. It is a different director. It's a different vision. It's going to be different, not because of me. It's going to be different because of everyone else around as well. And director is the captain of the ship. So I do have to submit it to it because it's his medium. So if he likes my tonality the way it is and doesn't want to change much of it, it probably is because it works for the character and is best for it. So
yeah, I think Sand Ki Aankh is the only time I've really seen you really change, you know, and become a different person, so as to say.
Yeah, because that obviously age, accent, whenever it's required, it will be brought in. And it can't be just because I need to keep showing off my putting on accent sense or something. And so many times, you know, you won't believe in Rashmi, in even the film that I'm doing right now, Wo Ladki Hai Kahan, I keep asking the director, should I bring in some local accent in this? Should I bring in that local accent? And the director is like, no, no, I don't want to. I don't want to make it caricatured. And strangely, when I went to promote Rashmi in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad,
Yeah.
first thing, couple of journalists asked me there is like, तो तुम भी क्या ऐसे बात करती हो क्या film में? And I was like, I said sorry, but no. He said, thank God and thank you for not doing that, because we.
Yeah, the typical stereotypes are not like that anymore. It's true.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, it's not going to be just the accent or the dialogue. There will be so much more in a character's reaction that goes in. We are only stuck to what is superficial right now. अब मैं suddenly गंजी होके आ जाऊंगी तो you'll feel it's different. That is now how it works.
No, but it's whatever you're doing is working. By the way, how are you feeling? Last year has been fantastic. You walk out with Hasina Dilruba, and can I be honest? I was shocked when I looked 2-3 times and said, yeah, most viewed and all these big numbers really are, testament to whatever choices you're making. Are you now starting to feel a little happier? Because I never see you like really happy and celebrating.
Yeah, you don't see me happy. No. I was happy by the end of the year when these numbers started coming in, because we started missing those numbers. Now box office ka used to हो गए थे, पता चल जाता था कि क्या हुआ है. And now OTT world में you don't really get to know. And around you, people who will talk to you most of the time would want to tell you good is why they want to talk to you about a film. Not many people come and talk to you bad. Okay, it's so. I can't keep running behind the bad ones, because I don't know what their intention is behind saying bad. Is it just genuinely meaning bad, or it's just because they want to say something bad because they just don't like someone who's been doing fine? Okay, so that can't be the motivation behind saying bad. So it is very difficult to objectify sometimes these comments. So that's why I stick to hardcore numbers. Even at box office, जो picture hit है, जो अच्छी है वो hit है. जो नहीं अच्छी बनी, कुछ ना कुछ खराब था, उसमें हिट नहीं. So this year, finally, I'm glad Netflix came out with numbers. So there are some official data to validate that. I mean, it might not work for you, but it worked for the majority, and that's what the mark of a good film is at the end of the day.
Bilkul, and that's why I've come to Tahir also, brother. It was brilliant. I was in tears when I watched 83 also. Y'all was so brilliant. I just cannot believe how this concerted efforts by so many people to say otherwise. I watched it with 100 people and we were crying and we were laughing and we were loving every moment. So congratulations on that. It is a film that I was waiting for 2 years for. I know a lot of people in the industry were. You all were brilliant. I mean, rarely does a team work like this. It was brilliant. You know, I could not see Kapil Dev, Ranveer Singh and Tahir, and I saw the characters. You must really feel happy, and I think you all should be very proud of that.
Thank you. Yes, it was. There are some scripts that you get and you make an actor's decision based on ये मेरे को ये करनी है इस वजह से. 83 for me was an emotional decision. It was a story. I wasn't born in 83, but I feel like I've grown up living that story, and now in a strange way I have, because I've lived it literally. We moved to the UK for 3.5 months, working with someone with the kind of experience and calm that Kabir Khan has. It was just phenomenal, and we tried as far as possible to shoot it linear and to shoot it at the real locations where those every tournament was played. And by the time we actually were on the Lord's balcony lifting the cup, we felt as close to as one could have to the original players. So it was deeply emotional, the fact that the film had that massive red carpet premiere. And I have never before been to a screening and a preview where the industry, and when I say industry, I don't mean only Mumbai. I mean producers from the south, from Punjab, from Calcutta, all of them come together to celebrate an iconic moment in sport, and it's just phenomenal. It's a slice of history, and I feel very privileged to have been a part of it and to have played Gavaskar.
Unbelievable. But who has a better cover drive? This one has also become this big batsman now. So have you all, while shooting, did you all do any cricket in between shots? Akash, did you allow a little bit of cricket? You've got two of the greatest players on screen who have ever played the characters.
भागने के अलावा कुछ और scope ही नहीं था करने का. But this was one of those films. मेरा first schedule जो था Loop का, उसमें I was training for Rashmi, because I was shooting for Rashmi just after the first schedule. Second schedule जो था Loop का, वो गोवा में था. I was training for cricket. Rashmi खत्म हो गई थी तब तक. So it is so weird. This was the only film I have only been training for some other film while I was shooting this film. So it became doubly physically exhausting for me, because I was doing two hardcore sports parallelly to running in the film, in this film.
I think it works well. Y'all are both rocking it over there. Last words with Akash. You're happy with your wards, how they performed?
I'm really happy. It was a pleasure to direct them. It was a pleasure to edit their performances. And the fact that they allowed me to do what I wanted to. There's always a reservation that comes with something that's so technical. One tends to think that performance is being put at the back of all of this, but that was not the case. It was technical, but at the heart of it all is what you see on screen in terms of the characters and their performances. And these guys have done an excellent job. I cannot imagine a Savi and a Satya played by anybody else.
After watching it, even I can't. Yeah, neither can I after watching it also. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this. It was a brilliant film, hitting out of the park as usual. Tahir, welcome to stardom all over the place, which is brilliant. Something that Taapsee's been living with for the last God knows how many years. Congratulations, Akash, on coming into the big league as well, man. Thanks so much. All right, thank you, guys. I will see you soon. And keep it tuned to B4U Entertainment. All these interviews out there, all the discussions that we have. It's just so fantastic to know that there's so much work out there, so many films being released. In spite of the pandemic, the world over, every week we've got films releasing, whether it's online or on the big screen. Always makes everyone happy. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll see you guys soon.